Welcome back, everybody, to another Two Tamers Talk. Jeff,
what's up, guys?
It's been a day.
It has been a day. It has been a jam-packed day full of recording, full of locals, full of, everything you'd want out of a good Digimon
Everything
day.
we've wanted for the last, two and a half months.
And
while
what's the
we've been in
perfect
this drought.
nightcap for this Wednesday night that we're recording, even though this is getting posted on Friday in the future?
Yep.
Is this podcast.
Yep. And what did we do before this podcast?
We did our locals.
What did we do after that? Yeah. No, it's the video that you watched before this one, hopefully.
Yeah, so on Thursday, yesterday, if you have not seen it, we did an awesome case opening of BT-11. We got a case between the two of us. We had an awesome third member that he was here for the EX3 case opening.
Yep.
And we always got good chemistry, the three of us. So
For sure.
we almost had 5 tonight to help open, but I think just the logistics of having too many people just wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We had a lot of people that were very excited about, like, oh, yeah, we had Jacob, and then another of our patrons that was like, oh, yeah, I'll come get on the podcast. And we're like,
finally.
Yeah, now everyone wants to come at the same time.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But it was great, man. We had a good time. Check out that video for sure. Because, we're early to the game. We got all this new shiny cardboard that we've been waiting for. And this is a set that I think it's very supplemental. Like, it's not an EX set. It has its own archetypes in it, but it also has so much support for a lot of the decks that we also already have profiles for.
Yeah,
that we just have it's like pieces for this, pieces for this. It's like it's
things
an
to
optimization
improve other
set
decks for sure. So a lot of update series will be coming your guys' way. Stay tuned to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, jump on subscribe. I think most people who listen to this podcast are subscribed, so thank you to all of you that are. But we had tons of new content for BT-11. I mean, I think we're already talking like 10 to 12 decks.
Oh, at least. Yeah,
coming the way in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know about the next couple of weeks for you guys. We're going to film them in the next couple of weeks. But 10 to 12 is a lot of editing. We'll get there. You guys are going to
film
get
all in one day. Just going to edit all in one night. And we're going to drop them every hour in one day.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of subscribing and stuff, we have this neat little new thing that we're going to do. So we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and so we're kind of doing a thank you, right? So we've been trying to kind of up our game with merch and play mats and shirts and stuff like that. And so we're like, what is something kind of easy that we can give away to the fans and people that have supported this channel for a while? So I know it's not a lot, but we ordered some custom stickers. So these are hollow foil, so you can kind of see it in the camera. Yeah. They're really cool. They're not cheap. They're high-end stickers. So if you want to rep your favorite channel on Digimon.
Hopefully on YouTube.
On Digimon. Did I say on Digimon?
Yeah.
Best Digimon channel on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and send us an email. I'll link it below, but it's admin@digitalgatestudios.com. And shoot us your info. And the first 40 that shoot us their info and like us on Facebook and YouTube, we'll get a sticker. I'll send it out to you at our cost, because we're awesome. And the first 10, you know what? The first 10 I get, I'll send you. I don't know. It's not going to be a primo alt art, but I'll send you a random alt art out of my case because I got a whole bunch.
That'd be awesome. And I want to do a special challenge too. Since we're doing challenges, we're on our way to 1,000. I know I did not talk about this ahead of time. First person to message us on Facebook, on the Digital Gate Studios Facebook page, right, with pictures or some sort of proof that you got 5 subscribers, 5 people who are not subscribed already to Digital Gate Studios, I will personally send an alt art analog youth.
Oh,
I will pay the full expense of shipping and everything. I'll get you a really good condition analog youth alt art. You can get 5 subscribers. First person on Facebook.
Subscribers to YouTube or to Facebook?
To the YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Okay.
Yep. So you can get 5 people subscribed to YouTube that are not subscribed. I'll send you an analog alt.
Well, there you go. We got stickers,
we got giveaways,
alt arts, and alt art.
We're almost to 1,000 subscriber, guys. We have a terrific fan base, and I'm loving every moment of it.
And these are cool stickers. We gave them away. Oh, and also, if you are a member of our locals, don't do it. This is only for people that are not members of our locals. We gave these away at locals tonight. So just hit me up locally if you want one.
Yeah.
This is I'm not going to ship these like 16 blocks south. These are for people that are on the internet that like our content across the country and stuff. And we have a lot of those people, and we're actually very loyal.
We have
to
a
them,
worldwide
so, yeah.
fan base too.
We do have some worldwide
We
fans.
do. We got
the shipping for these is continental U.S. only, so I'm not going to deal. I don't know how to deal with all those postal codes. So U.S. only. Thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, good. Thank you for all you guys. They're really nice stickers. I'm really happy with them.
Yeah, they turned out great.
So yeah, and we have more giveaways to come. I have custom hats coming. We have more custom shirts coming. We just got these that we like to rep.
Very nice
good
shirts.
stuff.
Nike, you went nice on these.
Yeah. So that's enough gloating about the merch, as it were. We need to get into what we did tonight. Other than open a ton of BT-11.
We did. We opened. We gotta watch everybody open BT-11 too. So it was nice. That. So it's a great time.
We also had locals tonight. It was the last locals for the EX3 format. And I think it was a lot of testing for the Mox Valley Games tournament that's coming up sooner than later. Like,
we're almost there.
This snuck up on us. I mean, we've been talking about it for a month, but it's like everyone at our locals was like, what are you playing for this? What are you playing for that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's like a week away-ish,
I know.
A week and a half.
I think a lot of people are getting ready for Mox. I think a lot of people, too, were also kind of getting their shells ready for new decks for BT-11.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think we saw a lot of Black Wargray tonight just kind of preparing.
Well, didn't Wargray X take it tonight?
Wargray X won the whole thing tonight, and his Wargray deck is killer. I lost to him in the third round.
I was lucky enough not to play him.
I know. I played him last week, too. Yeah. You know, at least I got a game off of him. I'm happy with that in the round, but...
Yeah, no, it was pretty fun tonight, man. I played security control. Like you talked about with shells, right? So my security control deck is the one that is essentially posted, and I tried to make a few changes.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of things that I'm going to change in it. Not a lot. I think 3 cards that I'm going to change in it with a new set. And we'll get into that in some deck profile updates and stuff. We're going to have a whole series of because we have a lot of fan favorite decks that we filmed. Yeah. And pretty much all of them have updates in BT-11 that make them kind of more tuned and optimized. You know, that tuned jank that we like to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys came full force for Aegisdramon.
Yeah.
So I got an update for Aegisdramon coming out. There's a lot of cool cards. It's a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah. So we're looking at that, and so I played my security control pre-optimized for BT-11. I just had some cards that I subbed in for cards that I'm gonna put in BT-11, and I went 500. I won half my games.
Yeah.
One of them I lost to pretty much your Justamon deck. It was taken from this channel, and with a great pilot.
Yes, he's a killer pilot. Yeah.
He just saw your list and he fell in love with it.
He did end up changing one card. I ended up talking to him about it, and we had a good conversation about this change about the level 5s. He kind of showed me, I don't disagree with why I put the Loader Leomon into Turbo, but he put back in the newest Cyberdramon from EX3, and I've been really liking his Cyberdramon in there. So in our update series, I'm going to put that Cyberdramon for sure.
Yeah, no, there was a game tonight where he swung at one of my Digimon with that. After he had hybrided, is that a word? He had digivolved onto a tamer.
Yeah.
And you can do that as long as you're not swinging at the player. So he didn't have a tamer. You have to have a tamer to swing at the player, but you don't have to have a tamer to swing at another Digimon.
Got it.
Which is funny because I feel like I catch all these technicalities at our locals.
Yeah, we do great. I don't think there's any misplays at locals. I mean,
and then all of a sudden, we do our gameplay videos and There's 1 or 2 misplays every single gameplay video.
Fine. And total shout out to every single person who watches our gameplay and points us out. We want that. Yes. Please keep doing that.
And the best part is we've never claimed this channel is the champion or the best or what it is. We're 2 dudes that love to play this game, and we have a bunch of friends that contribute and join in, and we're just normal people. So there are going to be misplays, and we really appreciate when people point out hey, that thing should have done this one other little thing, or that thing should have done this. It's oh, cool. That means people are watching the videos.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
So it makes us better as players.
Yeah,
because we're not going to make that misplay with Omnimon again. So it is what it is.
Yep.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you for pointing out the misplays, and keep doing it because it makes us better players.
Just straight up, thank you for being the best fans we could ask for.
How'd you do tonight?
I did good. I did a lot better. So I played my Purple Turbo X Antibody.
Yes.
Made a couple changes to the deck after getting some feedback, after testing some different things, after just trying a bunch of new stuff out. And I'm definitely happy with the results. I know I have clear weaknesses in the deck. Like that deck will just straight up lose to Wargray X every time. Right? With all the protection on that deck, I can't. Even if they hit a Death to Cannon security, it still doesn't.
They just trash things. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's no way for me to get around that with the purple build. And that's just how the deck is.
Yeah.
But I do think the deck performed a lot better than it did. And my last round was against Gallantmon, and this Gallantmon pilot is so good. Eventually, we're going to get him on the channel. His decks are great. He's a great pilot. And it was just a great match, great round. And I'm always excited to play against him. So,
yeah, I mean, Gallantmon is rough against a lot of purple, right?
It is.
Anything that trashes, because he plays the BT1.
He does.
One?
The BT2 Gallantmon.
And
I was able to like get away from having 20 cards in trash with Avenge Kid. Bottom decking all my options.
Even having 10, though. I mean, he swings and he trashes one right off the bat.
Yeah. So there's that weakness there, obviously. And it really would. This is what I love about the game, right? Is the security that's set at the beginning of the game. It's random. You don't know what's in the deck. Obviously, there are cards now like BT-10 X Antibody Omnimon that can look at the security and trash one. But I just did, and no matter how many times this situation would have happened, I will never not do what I did, right? So I had an Avenge Kid and I had the X Antibody option, the Omnimon, ready to go to my level 7 and trash security and get that set up and have that big menacing threat on board. I'm not saying I would have won the round, but I might have, right? But I had a level 3 as well. And I swung with the level 3 first to get one extra check-in because I'm greedy like that. That's my play style. And I had a Gaia Force, and it blew up the Avenge Kid and completely stopped me in my tracks. So, again, no regrets with that play.
No regrets.
10 out of 10 times I would do that again. So, yeah, no regrets. But, yeah, no, it was good. It was a great night. Great night.
Well, I guess, I mean, that just does what it normally does to you when you're trying to figure out what deck you're going to play before a big tournament, right?
Yeah, I think it helped me make. I don't want to play this deck at Mox, just because of the fact that Black War Gray is such a menace, and I still think I want to figure out a counter to it. So that's like my main project for BT-11 is figure out how to beat Black War Gray without using Grandis, right? Because a lot of people are going to Grandis for the counter to Black War Gray X, and I think there are a lot of good decks that can beat Black War Gray. Black War Gray is a little bit, I don't want to say a slow deck, right? That's not the word I'm looking for. It's a fast deck. It's powerful. It's got a lot of good protection. It just does everything you want in a deck, in one deck. And really, I should just play that deck. But instead, I want to figure out how to beat it.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. And that's also a good point in the fact that we have a lot of big stuff coming up. So, first of all, we have the Mox Valley Games tournament that we've been talking about. So, Springfield, Oregon, February 19th.
Yes.
We will be there. We are bringing friends.
We are.
There's going to be a bunch of people there. So we can't wait to win a Ghost Omni.
It is. I'm very excited. Hopefully I can win that, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, hopefully somebody on our team wins it. But, I mean, grats to whoever does. I mean, whoever wins it is going to earn it for sure.
Oh, they're going to fight for it. It's going to be like 40 people, I think, at least playing.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. With a lot of other great prizing. But we also have our locals, Wayward City Games, is having our big final. We finally get a pre-release because we haven't had a pre-release since BT-10, which I think was probably like November of last year.
Yeah, something like that.
Because the EX sets don't have pre-release because technically they're supplemental sets. So we finally have a big pre-release coming. So BT-11 pre-release, we get those. And finally... So I'm just going to say, we'll talk about the actual tournament in a second.
Yeah.
But I am so excited because it seems like Bandai's been listening to our podcast because we constantly complain about the price support for pre-release.
Right?
They're usually terrible cards. It's like you win, you get an Andromon or something.
Cardromon,
It hasn't been good since we got that Pulsemon, right? So that was BT6 pre-release, BT7, something like that. It's been a long time. So this time they just pulled out all stops, and they're like, if you participate, you get this full art Greymon Security Attack +1.
Which is the best one, I think, now.
That we've had since.
Unfortunately, it's not foiled. We got to take a look at those today, and it's not foiled.
It's not foil, but it's full art. There is no border. It is beautiful.
It's like the first time we're getting one of those full art borderless type cards, right? It almost looks like in Magic, you're allowed to proxy, or not proxy, you're allowed to alt. What's the word I'm looking for? Where you can change the artwork on a card?
It's Proxy or
It's
whatever.
whatever
sub
that
whatever.
term is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
forgetting. I'm
yeah.
blanking on it. Correct me in the comments.
Yeah.
But like Magic allows you to do that, especially for lands. People come up with beautiful customs for land.
Yeah.
This is that. This is
Yeah.
that full borderless card, and makes me want every card borderless. So
Yeah, it's really nice. And then you got the VMon. We saw the winter cards that are borderless and have a slight foil to them. They
yes,
seem
the VMon
remotely
look
shiny.
nice. That's the winner, and
But I think that VMon is really specific in the fact that it is like I think it's pretty much only for the armor decks because
Yeah, I
it
think
lets you
so.
search out a dual color blue card. So I'm pretty sure that it's an armor forward.
you could probably figure it out in other decks too. But I think the most competitive deck that goes.
You're not going
going
to put that in all force.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to that.
Yeah, but I mean, super excited about that. And the reason I'm excited about that is because we have a pretty unique locals where we do. It's more expensive, but it is a bigger, better pre-release tournament
It's
format.
like my favorite event of every
It's
set.
so much fun. So what we do at Wayward, if you haven't listened to the other podcast, is for pre-release, what we do is it's a box. You don't have to build it
box.
because the 6-pack is what's recommended if
Yeah.
you look on the website for Bandai, but you can do as much as you want and run the same rules. And so that's what we do. So we do the non-color Digivolve rules, and anything you get in the pre-release kit, you can use in your 40-card deck.
So that Greymon.
Yes, we still use a 40-card deck. And you can use as many or as few as eggs as you want. If you use 0, you can still do that. You know, put a level 3 in the raising without drawing. All the rules for that. But it is a lot of fun because in these decks specifically, so this is the first one where we've had a lot of older cards since BT6. I remember when we did the BT6 was one of the first ones that we did at Wayward, and it was so much fun because we had that memorial pack, and some people got like Millennium Mons, some people got Phoenix Mons, some people got the jamming V Mons and stuff like that.
that was
and you got to
blast.
use that in your pre-release deck.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. So this is going to be a similar format where you have Gazimons.
Oh yeah.
You have what else is good in the
we got
campaign rares?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, well, Eosmon's great, but you're not going to use it in pre-release.
No.
No, the Gazimon's killer. The
Yeah.
Gazimon's great. The Seraphimon, I think, is going to be a pre-release MVP.
That could be good.
Because it's Recover 1.
Rust Tyrannomon might be good.
The Rust Tyranno might be
Attack
good.
Unsuspended.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
having those types of campaign cards really makes a format like this a blast because all of a sudden you're getting hit with an old BT1 like the Seraphi, BT2 with the Rust Tyranno card where it's like, wait, how did you do that?
Yeah. On top of that, everyone is going to start the tournament with a security attack Greymon.
Yeah, well, could you imagine getting a stack where you have Seraphimon that gets security attack +1 if you have 3 or more security with that Greymon for security attack +1 as well?
I'm excited because it's going to go in my so my pre-release strategy I think is going to be so there's 2 decks that are exclusive. I mean 2 archetypes that are exclusive to this set, which always piques my interest because
it's like you get 1 box, how much of that 1 archetype can you build?
Yes, and we have 2 in this set because we have the Poop deck, which is brand new, and then we have Venmons, the Galactimon stuff.
Yes.
So I think that my strategy is going to be based on the stuff that we've already opened. If I pull a Galactimon, that's the road that I go.
Okay,
If
interesting.
there's a Galactimon, which I pulled 2 out of 6 boxes tonight, so that's kind of like a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah.
If my maths are correct. So if I do that, then I think that there's enough support with all the Venmons being commons and stuff like that I might be able to pull that off. And then support it with all of the new yellow options because the yellow options are good.
I think yellow options are really good this
So it's either going to be Galactimon or Poop deck. I think Galactimon, if I pull the Galactimon, I'll play that with the yellow back end.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of things, if I don't pull the Galactimon, then there's enough Poop deck stuff in one box to kind of run a 40-card Poop deck security control deck.
That could
maybe
be fun. That could be insane.
Yeah. Because, what is it? Holy Sunshine. That's going to be my card. So we're going to just switch over here so we can talk about this. So Holy Sunshine, I think, is going to be, I guess we can pick one MVP card for BT-11, right?
Yeah, and you're going to go with that right off the bat.
My Holy Sunshine is going to be
Love it.
Walking on Sunshine. You know what I mean? Don't forget to bring a towel.
Don't forget to...
Holy Sunshine is going to be my pre-release MVP. So we're just going to put that right out there because it's like a holy wave at the same time. I know there was another yellow card. I can't remember what it is right now, but it was like give 3 of your opponent's Digimon like minus 5k DP or whatever. I think it was only 3k DP.
Yeah.
It was an older card. It's like a BT 3 or 4 card. But this like combines them both. And then if you have a yellow tamer, which I don't know if I will, but reduce the cost by 1. But very, very good card because if it hits in security, just activates. So it's kind of like a holy flame. Right out of the gate that also reduces DP. So you're going to be able to, even if they are security attack +1, you're going to be, or 2 or 3 or whatever, you're going to be able to either stop that or make them weaker on their second turn and then delete rookies and stuff like that. And I think that's a big part of pre-release, right? Is because a lot of people play those small bodies fast. At least I do.
Yeah, kind of go wide.
Yes.
So speaking of going wide with smaller bodies, I'm a big fan of the DG Dimension.
Oh, okay.
Specifically for pre-release. So DG Dimension, DG evolves 3 on a Digimon, then it deletes 3 with the play cost of 6 or less.
Oh.
So what's really nice is you can potentially clear an entire board, right, with the way pre-release goes. So if we're talking about pre-release strategies, right, you and I have different pre-release strategies for sure. And I think that this particular box is, I think, going to push a lot of people kind of to creative limits as far as deck building when it comes to this particular pre-release event. So normally, like with each set, there's usually good removal. There's not a lot of good removal this set. Like Hades Force is obviously great removal for black or gray, but that dual color requirement is going to be really difficult. And the fact that you have to have that Greymon in name too as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
So I Hades Force is going to be a card, for example,
too
that I avoid.
Yeah.
Right, but like, we still got like Crimson Flare, we still got Magma Bomb, we still got DG Dimension. We got great kill spells that can really catch an opponent off guard. And for me, I'm a big fan of, when I open the box, I lay out, maybe we should just go into kind of deck building, right, for pre-release, right? Right. So like what I do, right? And I'm not saying mine is always right, but I always feel like I'm always super competitive at pre-release events for sure. I feel like it's where I get my chance to really shine. I kind of like sort everything by level first, right? I'll put levels, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7, and then options and tamers all in separate piles, right? And then I'll kind of look, what options did I pull? And what kind of kill spells do I want to trigger? So if I want to play a lot of black kill spells like DG Dimension, or if I'm playing red, I know I should put extra red cards, whether it's level 2s, whether it's level 3s, 4s, whatever, so that way I have that red to be able to trigger when needed.
Right.
I'm a big fan as well of turboing in pre-release, being able to how cheaply can I evolve up to a stack. Like if I can evolve into a level 5 for 2 costs, I don't think there is any this set. I'd have to double check, but I don't think there's any 2 costs level 5s, for this set. Then that's something I focus on too. But for me, I only play like 3 to 4 6s total, and sometimes I don't even play a 7 in pre-release. I might only play 3 or 2 level 6s this set, depending on what I pull. If I pull that Seraphi, that's for sure going in there. That's recovery. Recovery and pre-release is amazing.
Huge, yeah.
It's
recovery
huge.
And blocker.
Recovery, blocker, security attack +1.
Or security attack -1. Remember that Tinkermon that was
Tinkermon
so
was really
good
too last set. So like our 3s this set are not nearly as good as BT-10 pre-release.
No,
we don't have any 2 costs.
None. That's a huge point. That's a huge point.
Yeah, we do get a lot of vanilla 4K level 3s.
Yeah,
that 4K could do a really good job of deleting your opponent's Digimon, or if they hit in security and they're swinging with a 4K. But you mentioned blockers. There's only one blocker Digimon, I think, this set that's like a generic blocker, and that's the Birdramon. Right, so if I'm playing a lot of red options, and if I can get 4 Birdramons, I got blockers, I got red options that I can trigger because that's red. There's just a lot of good things going forward. And then there's also high DP level 5s. We got Destromon, right? We also have Digitamamon, right? Which is just a straight up...
the green one?
Yeah, straight up green 10K, 3 cost Evo. Like, a lot of times when I build these stacks in pre-release, you don't necessarily need to be above 10K. Right? So I'll just stop at the Digitama and swing with that every turn and work on my next stack. Right? So I think for pre-release, the best thing you can do is lay everything out at the beginning. Not by color, just, sort of by level and option and tamer.
Level for sure. Because you don't need to lay it out by color. Except for the options, right? Because the options still require.
Matter. Options still matter for color-wise, right? And then you're going to kind of focus on what can I do efficiently and what can I do consistently. So, for example, you're not going to show up to pre-release and be successful if you're running Alphamon ratios. You're only running 10, 9 level 3s. or 6, 7 level 4s, whatever, Alphamon ratios, and sometimes even Metal Garurumon ratios are very, very like Digimon low focused, right? I don't think you're gonna have a good time.
Well, and that's the interesting part too, is because you have to look at it like if you're looking at ratios, and that's kind of where we've learned because we've done a lot of pre-releases, right? Because they're decreasing your deck size by 20%.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you have 40 card deck.
Yeah, 40, right? So you have to decrease your ratios by 20%. And we've seen it go both ways. But I mean, depending on what you're doing, I think that this is going to be a very unique set for pre-release.
Yeah.
In the fact that Rookie Rush really isn't going to be a huge thing in this because you're not going. You don't have the Mushroomons, the Bearmons, the stuff where you're like, how many of these can I pull? Because the 2 costs automatically go in the deck, right? That was just how it worked before because it's pre-release rules.
Yeah.
You can put more than 4 of a card in a deck, right?
Yeah. But so, I'm opposite, right? Like for pre-release, I'm still going to play 14 level 3s. I might even play a 15th one if I need it, depending on what the deck does, right? But I don't like running less than 14 in pre-release. I know that's a huge chunk. We're already talking more than 25% of my deck just for level 3s.
Yeah.
But just the amount of aggression you can do if you just throw down level 3s like that, or being able to trigger your colors consistently, or being able to just memory choke efficiently. Like if they give me 2 and I play a 3-cost level 3 and only give them 1, like I'm ahead. I'm ahead of security with that potential Digimon check. They have to address that, either delete it or something like that.
Do that, and I'm gonna be glad that I'm gonna have more than 4 Holy Sunshines because I'm gonna destroy your board with Holy Sunshines. Well, I think that's gonna be my card of this, my card of the pre-release because if you can run more than 4 of this. It's gonna be really.
Well, there's great level 3s, right? Like for example,
there's a lot of good level 3s.
Ignite-mon. Yeah, Ignite-mon could be really good. The Birdramon blocker. We got just straight up 4K level 3s. But I'm also really excited for green actually in pre-release. And like I went green on BT-10.
Oh, you get that Vegemon. Right? I did the first Digimon that gives you memory.
Start of turn, gain 1 memory.
First.
So now, if you have
that's never been done.
Yeah, and so it's only a 4-drop. Not expensive to hard play.
Of course, because it's Vegemon, right?
It's Vegemon,
It still is a 2-cost Digivolve,
it's
right?
It's a 3K, so it's weak. It's a 2-cost Evo, that's correct.
Well, that's good. But they didn't give it the 1-cost
memory. Yeah. And what's another weakness you sometimes have in pre-release where you're not able to efficiently put in Here Those Skies, Fireball, Searchers, is the Green Palmon. The Green Palmon is start of your turn, draw a card. So now you can start your turn with an extra card. You can start your turn with an extra memory. You can go wide, kind of like the strength of pre-release is just to play all these bodies that go wide. That can benefit you.
Yeah, they're giving green a lot of tools.
I have a feeling Palmon's going to be one of my best cards for pre-release because it's just being able to draw 1 card. Because, that makes it where if you're only playing 3 level 6s and you really need that Seraphimon that you have a 1 of from your campaign rares to recover, right? You'll be able to get it quicker.
Well, that's why I think the Venmon is going to be good too, because it's like it doesn't require if you have, it depends on how many you draw, right? But like everything in this deck digivolves from the level 3 for a certain cost, right?
Correct.
So you can do what you want to do no matter what, as long as you have the level 3. So it really depends on how many level 3s do you pull out of 1 box. Now, these strategies that we're talking about are completely different with the 6-pack format, because the 6-pack format we also do the following Wednesday, so we do both.
I love that too.
It's fun, but that one is literally just like what card. It's not. Here's the difference between the two. You have the box format, which is what cards do you put in, and then when you do the 6-pack, it's what cards do you leave out.
What cards do you leave out? Yeah.
Because you only have so many cards, right?
Yeah.
And the 6-pack one we have a lot of fun with, but that one literally comes down to just like luck of the draw
of what packs you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with pre-release, I want to talk about one more mechanic as a whole, raid.
Oh,
with the Marsmon. The Marsmon line, because we do almost get the entire raid support set with Graplio, with the Bearmon, with the Grizzlymon, right? We get all of that and like a whole box. So you could run like a 4-4-4 with a box, right? If you get not Marsmon, you probably won't get 4 Marsmons.
You can get up to 2 in 1 box.
Yeah, but Graplio as a red level 5, like if it were up to me right now, my 5s are going to be Digitamamon and Grapliomon. Because Graplio's got raid, you got the Digitamamon with just a high K bodies. So I'm very excited to see that raid is just going to be could be the best mechanic of pre-release.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things like I love pre-release formats because you see all these cards you'll never see again. Like I think Marsmon will be a popular deck. I do think a lot of people will want to build and want to try it, but then I think once they're playing it, they'll just be like, why don't I just play Black or Gray?
You say that though, but there's a lot of stuff that when we do our deck builds and stuff like that, you talk about these cards that we use in pre-release, and we're like, oh, that's a great card, and then we don't see it again. But we do sometimes.
You're right.
I think a good example of that is the Dino Rex that I have in the Gotcha deck. Because remember how good that dual color Dino Rex was in pre-release?
Oh, that was killer. That was like one of the best cards in pre-release.
Because everyone played Rookie Rush, and they would swing, and it would just die before the check happened, right?
Yeah.
And so like that card, like that was what sparked my interest in the Green Gotcha
in
revamp.
the first place, right? Doing that kind of alternative format for sure.
So playing in pre-releases is very important, guys. Because you also, like you said,
it's
you get to
experience
a lot of cards that you're not gonna, that you might need to remember what they do, like further on when you're doing your deck building, because it's such a dynamic experience where you get to use all the cards, or at least consider all the cards from a set. When if you don't play pre-release, a lot of people will just like grab decks from the internet, or you know what I mean, like they'll already have preconceived decks that they want to build when a set comes out, rather than exploring every card in the set and seeing what they do and being creative with it.
And I think pre-release is a great way to become a better Digimon player as a whole.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you're like, okay, instead of like you were talking about showing up with a pre-constructed deck where you found a list online, whether you watch one of our awesome deck profile videos, whether your buddy built a deck for you, whatever it is. No, everybody starts off with the same box that you don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
Right. Like obviously, if you get a really good poll, like if you got 4 Seraphimons for your campaign arts, which is obviously not possible, right? Then you're going to be so much farther ahead than other people. Sure.
You can get a Black War Gray X and a Black War Gray X alt art in a box.
That's true. And that could really define what your deck does for pre-release and how you play the deck going forward. But this puts you to the limit of deck building. This puts you to the limit of just playing. Like how often are you gonna swing? Like this goes back to BT-1 days when I used to love playing Metal Tyrannomon in Red Omni Turbo as like a 1 or 2 of, because it was just a big 10k beater that could do tons of work. It was great for picking off opponents' suspended Digimon. It was great as a security bomb with high DP. It was great for so many things. And now we get to take that back and teach people, or like you have to know when to attack, when not to attack, when to do all these things, or you have to learn how to like use removal efficiently as well. So I think pre-release format is, if you haven't done one, do one for sure. This will make you a better Digimon card game player for sure.
100%. Well, those are the 2 big events. So we're going to link them down below. We have the big one in Mox, Valley Games, Springfield, Oregon, February 19th, 12:30 p.m. We're going to be there. We're also toying with the idea of hanging out overnight, getting an Airbnb, and doing kind of an after party thing, and leaving on Monday.
I'll come sign autographs.
Yes. So we're talking about doing that. It'd be fun. So just pretty much like an entire Digimon day. Like it's going to be exhausting. It's going to be consuming, but we're going to bring the camera along for sure. And we're going to shoot a bunch of content. If not at Mox, at the after party, if that works out for sure. So, and then, like we said, we have our big, we have 2 pre-releases at Wayward City Games in Vancouver, Washington. We have the full box tournament, which is live on their website to pre-purchase the ticket.
WaywardCityGames.com.
Yes, and that is there. That is Saturday the 11th. Yes.
Yep.
And then the following Wednesday, whatever that date is, I don't know how to count. Probably the 14th. I think that's math.
Sure, yeah.
15th, I think. Whatever that is. That is our 6-pack draft.
Yeah, because it's not Valentine's Day.
It is not. This is the day. Yeah, it's the day after Valentine's Day. It's the 15th. So we have that also. So we have a bunch of big events coming up. So
we do, and I'm very excited. The pre-release formats are just such a blast for me. One of my favorite formats to play. It's just always going to be, hold close to my heart.
Near and dear to the heart.
Near and dear. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, those are the events that we're planning on doing. Now we have to talk about some reveals.
We do.
Because we are nearing the end of BT-13.
Yes. End of the reveals.
End of the reveals. We still have some left to go. I think 3. I think we still have like 2 options than the last secret rare.
Yes.
And of course, they're probably going to premiere it on Thursday while I'm editing this video. So we're going to look like buffoons. But we're going to talk about what we have already. And of course, no one could have called it, right? We got an Omnimon. Big surprise.
Very excited about this Omnimon too.
Are you?
Yes, because I think he is the best Royal Knight for the Yggdrasil deck that we really broke down, right?
Yeah.
He plays a bunch of bodies. He gives them rush.
There's a lot of bodies.
Plays a lot of bodies. He has the potential to play a lot of bodies for sure. So very excited for the deck. I'm very excited to see all the different ways to play. A lot of times, I don't want to call it a meme deck because it's definitely not a meme deck, right? But a lot of times with these decks that have like a clear cut, like Galactamon and the Venmon, right? Like obviously there's tinkerings, but you're going to use, this line. Like you have to use these guys. This Royal Knight isn't like that, where it's like you can pick a color package you like for your Royal Knights, and you can stick with that color package.
Yeah, because you can win Digivolve or you can on play.
Yep.
The
So
on play is made for the
versatility.
Yggdrasil. The when Digivolving is like,
Yeah.
create your own adventure or whatever it is. It's like,
absolutely.
you just put it in whatever you already had.
No, this whole it's just gonna be a lot of fun. Omnimon's really good, obviously for the Shield stuff. I'm very excited for that, and I'm very excited to see what this last secret's gonna be.
Yeah, hot debate here because
It's gotta be a villain.
you think it's gonna be a villain, but we haven't seen a Gallantmon yet.
I don't think they're gonna give us any Gallantmon.
I don't think so either because that's gonna be blow us up in the comments because we're probably wrong because that's what we do.
Nope, I'm right. There's no Gallantmon in this set.
Because we had a whole set with Gallantmon support like before this, right?
Yeah, they've been giving us Gallantmon support. EX2 got it. EX3 got it. BT-12 is getting a whole Gallantmon line as well. So
there's Gallantmon everywhere. So can we skip a Gallantmon?
Yeah.
I was my biggest surprise about this set is that we didn't see a single Sistermon.
Yeah. And
we're not going to because the only thing left is like two options because it's like BT-13, like 110 and 112 or whatever it is. So those are definitely options.
What if that last secret Sistermon Nor? Bandai just finally said, you know what? We'll put Digimon or Sistermon Nor in the English.
It's gonna disappoint and excite a lot of people.
It's not, but it'd be great.
No, I think what did we say it was going to be? It's either going to be the
Lucemon Satan mode,
or the other villain.
Like one of the Demon Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think there's a Gudamon. I can never pronounce it, like OGUDA, which is like the fusion of all the Demon Lords. It could very well be that. That would be insane, and that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But with the Dynasmon and the Lord Knight, I'm kind of more leaning towards the Lucemon stuff.
Yeah, because it's weird that we haven't seen any Lucemon stuff, but all the stuff in that color, purple, that says...
That supports that. So I kind of think it's going to be a purple secret for our last.
Yeah.
We'll see. Unless, of course, the Lucemon is white. The Satan mode, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what these last reveals are. But I'm excited for the set just in the fact that like everybody gets support, and if you want to just build this deck, like that'll be a fun pre-release for sure.
Oh, that's gonna be a crazy pre-release for sure.
I guess we'll talk about that in
8 months,
July,
6
August.
months?
No, I don't know, August, September, whenever we get it. Super cool though, very very fun. We're gonna talk about now. Okay. I'm rambling, but we did not have cards of the week last week. I don't know. We didn't get called out for it, but that's a big oof.
Clearly our fans are not loyal enough.
That's a big oof on me.
Yeah.
We did have cards of the week, and we had an additional like 12 minutes of content. But
turns out you have to have a mic on.
Yeah, I didn't turn the mic on, but nobody caught it. That means my editing is
your editing
great.
is pretty good.
You didn't even catch it, and you talked for an extra 15 minutes.
And I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
I was like watching a bunch of videos while I was doing stuff this morning, just kind of like as background noise. I didn't notice.
So we're going to get back into it with cards of the week this week. I don't remember who went first last week because I didn't edit it. So I edited it out.
Yeah.
So what is your card of the week this week?
My card of the week is going to be Calling from the Darkness. The restricted purple option.
Again. He picks the
I'm sorry.
easy ones.
Guys, listen. Yeah. So for those of you who have seen my purple turbo Omnimon X antibody deck, I feel like a fool for not putting this card in that deck. So I went back. That was one of the things I added in, and I used it every game. It felt like. Maybe not every game. Maybe I used it I definitely used it every round.
Every game that you drew it?
Every game that I drew it, I used that Calling from the Darkness. It's so good. I definitely see why it's restricted, but even if it wasn't restricted, I don't think it would be more than a 2 of anyways in this particular deck. But it was just so nice being able to just, especially when I have an empty field, just play it for 1, grab back a Gabu and an Eismon, reload that draw engine, completely increase the efficiency of my deck. I don't know, tenfold. Just picked a number, but it was a killer card. Big fan of Calling from the Darkness. Obviously, the security effect is a little lacking, but I think for that card, it's balanced and where it needs to be.
What's the
And,
security
like,
effect?
It just adds to hand.
Oh,
right, which
so
is
it's
which makes
not
sense,
null,
right?
so
Like
that's
it's not
not bad,
null,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like in it, like that's a card you'd want in hand, so you can choose to use it. You know, it's not like Hell's Gate where it's just like, oh man, I hit Hell's Gate security, didn't do anything. You know, but yeah, Calling from the Darkness. That's my card of the week. What's yours?
Well, I'm not going to copy last week's because mine last week did not do me any good this week, so I'm getting rid of it. So I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't like it. But this week, I have to go with one of the main. I played Security Control again with my Security Digimon deck, and this card never fails to disappoint. It is the Geo Greymon. And I don't think I've done this one yet. But the Geo Greymon is so good. I mean, I went against Bloomlord tonight. I went against Deoboromon tonight. I went against some interesting decks that had a lot of low DP bodies. And being able to tactical retreat that and just keep reusing that on play on deletion is so good.
Yep.
Because it doesn't hurt you when you go to, I mean, when they start you at 3, you play it, you set them to 3. And you get to delete a body. It's 4K or less, and especially against like Bloomlord and stuff. Like there's so many level 4s in that are 4K or less.
Yeah,
it's a very, very good card, and the alt art's amazing. I love it.
Got like additional colors on there you wouldn't expect to see in that Greymon line. It's really cool.
Yeah, once they gave us the alt art, I was not a fan of the regular art for sure from the starter deck. But once they gave us that really crisp, shiny alt art, I was like, oh.
I was very excited when those starter decks came out. The Gallimon ST
8 or 9, yeah, I think 8 and 9.
7 and 8, I think. I think it's 7 and 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they gave us the security Digimon that came out and do things at the same time as on play.
Well, the Quadramon draws you too. Yeah,
Quadramon draws you too.
That would be my second one.
And it's a little bit.
Those are the two best cards in that security control deck.
I mean,
sure.
Quadramon is gonna be one of the best blue level 4s for a long time.
Yeah,
it's really good. It just obviously depends on the deck. Like if you're playing Melga X, you're not gonna play that Quadramon because you already have your Garus.
Yeah.
But for like a generic blue deck, why not? It's just an on play draw 2, and it comes out of security, and it's a 5,000 DP, so it's not bad. 6 costs a little steep, but it's still a 2 cost evo. So
it draws you 2 cards.
Draws you 2 cards. So I mean, it's a killer card.
No, those are great. I'm just so happy to have them in that deck because I don't think that, like you said, you started that security Digimon deck
1.5. Yeah, I was so excited to get all those box toppers.
Yeah, and it's a cool idea, but you also need things to make it work, right?
Yeah, so, you need that draw, you need removal,
you need that gotcha, that I'm gonna play this because you hit it in security and it dies.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the 4 Quadramon on my Aegisdramon deck, right? So it's a blast doing that there.
You even played it in your Rookie Rush deck, right?
Yep, I did just straight up, like, it's just a great, comes out of security, draws 2 cards. And Geo Gray too. Geo Gray is obviously, that's your card of the week this week, right? But like Geo Gray is really good in a lot of decks, so.
Well, that's it, guys. We have ended the EX03 format, and we are moving on. So
we're moving on to a fresh, exciting set, and we're very excited. Let us know in the comments what you want us to build and what you want to see our takes on. Very excited about this.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of new builds on the way, but also, so comment what the priority is for the decks that you want us to update, because we have updates. I mean, I have all 5 or 6 of my decks over here, and I already know what I want to put in them from the new set, but let us know what you want us to film and prioritize, because we have updates all the way from Machine Dramon, and Jeff's already got 10 Alt Art Eosmons.
You're not supposed to tell him that.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you're the Alt Art King, right?
I'm 10 down, 40 more to go.
So, and he already has updates for that purple Eosmon deck.
I'm very excited. We got Purple Eos, Aegis, Mami, Tyrannos, mess that up, Tyrannos. Justimon Zoo's getting an update with the new Accelar, or the new arm.
So not just Toon Drink. We also have some meta stuff coming. I'm building Ulforce. I have 3 of my Renas already. And one of our good friends, the one locals tonight, is building his black or gray deck. So we're gonna try. We've already cornered the market on a lot of the tuned jank, as people say. We are also going to try and make sure that you guys get to see some very meta stuff because we like to play competitive decks. We like to win.
We do like to win.
And we also like to make sure that you guys see very competitive decks. And yeah, feel free to judge us as harshly as you want. We don't claim to be the best at the game, but we claim to have the most fun at the game.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That is it, my guy. Cheers. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. So once again, like, comment, subscribe, like us on Facebook, send us an email at admin@digitalgatestudios.com if you want a sticker to represent your favorite Digimon YouTube channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.